Am I right in thinking people have been complaining because I'm drinking Budweiser in every other video?
Yeah, people have been saying that they think we're sponsored by Budweiser.
Oh God, that's terrible. Starship Troopers is another movie by Paul Verhoeven that is inexplicably getting rebooted by Hollywood, because apparently the lukewarm reception to both the RoboCop and Total Recall remakes didn't teach them anything. Rather than dwell on how shitty this inevitable PG-13 remake of an awesome R-rated movie is going to be, let's talk about the original film and the fact that test audiences really hated one specific character. For anybody who needs a refresher, the movie mostly centres around the adventures of one Johnny Rico, a lantern-jawed American beefcake, and his ragtag group of friends as they shoot giant alien space bugs right in the face.
I actually haven't seen Starship Troopers.
You haven't? So then you're probably not aware that it also stars Neil Patrick Harris, and he's dressed like a Nazi nearly the entire time.
What? Why?
Because the movie's a satire, and it's supposed to be like a piss take of fascism, so all of the uniforms of all the characters are based on the Nazis and the SS. So Neil Patrick Harris walks around wearing a long black leather coat and a big Nazi hat.
Officer on deck. Carry on.
Does he have a German accent?
He doesn't put on a German accent, no, but he's blonde and he's got psychic powers.
What?
Yeah, that's a plot point. Neil Patrick Harris has got nebulous psychic powers and it never explains why.
Barney Stinson, the psychic Nazi.
Yeah, basically.
Go bug Mom, Cyrano.
There's also a really good scene as well. It's famous for having this shower scene where just everybody's naked. You probably won't be able to get away with putting a clip of this.
I can blur it all out.
If you can try and blur it, yeah, but basically there's a scene where everybody's naked and everyone's got their tits out and everyone's got a knob out.
Well, we all have one thing in common. We were all stupid enough to sign up for mobile infantry.
And the idea was Paul Verhoeven's like, well, it's the future, so gender equality should be a thing, which is why like women and men fight alongside each other on the front lines. But a lot of the actors in the scene, like, we don't feel comfortable getting naked. So Paul Verhoeven went, I'll tell you what, how about if I direct the scene naked, you act in the scene naked? And they were all like, yeah, that sounds good.
That sounds totally fair. So there's pretend Nazis in this and there's giant alien bugs. What's the film actually about?
It's about saving the world from the evil nebulous threat of giant alien space monsters.
Kill them! Kill them all!
Also, there's a love story in it as well. A secondary plot point in the movie is a relationship between the aforementioned all-American action beefcake, Johnny Rico, and his high school sweetheart played by Denise Richards. During the film, Richards' character, Carmen Ibanez, breaks up with our hero because she can't focus on all that dick right now, telling him she needs to focus on her career.
I think I'm gonna go career. I don't think that's gonna leave a lot of room for you and me, Johnny.
Oh God, he's so fucking brutal. He's like, I've joined the army and I'm here, I'm about to go to like war tomorrow, and his girlfriend's like, I've broken up with you. That's a brutal breakup, that, innit? The mobile infantry is just like, you just run forward, like this meat grinder of flesh. Because it's like, basically it's a satire of like a military industrial complex. It's like, oh, we'll win everything just with manpower. Johnny Rico, our hero, joins the mobile infantry, which is like ground forces. And basically he meets the guy and says, oh, the mobile infantry made me the man I am today. And he goes to shake his hand and he's got a robot arm and both his legs missing.
What about you, son?
Infantry, sir.
Good for you. Mobile infantry made me the man I am today.
It was a really cool thing. If you watch the movie, every person who was a member of the mobile infantry, who was an adult, is disfigured in some way. Every single one who says they're part of it. Like, his teacher at the start of it's blind. Another one's got an arm missing. The guy he meets when he shakes his hand has got his leg missing. So like, every authority figure is like maimed in some way. And it's supposed to be like a satire of the idea of like, yeah, military, awesome.
Are they all like really excited about it as well, even though they're all fucked
because
up?
They have adverts. Do you not see adverts? They've got adverts through the movie. It's like, join the mobile infantry today. And they're like, standing there, we'll do our part. And it's like people stomping on like cockroaches.
The war effort needs your effort. At work, at home, in your community.
And then this guy giving his gun to a kid, and they're like tugging on it, and the people are like, ha 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 ha. The thing is though, right, people didn't realise it was a joke. So it got really bad reviews. People thought it was being serious. And Paul Verhoeven's like, I can't believe, after RoboCop, which is itself a satire, and is so full of these like over-the-top moments where you can't believe it's being serious, people still thought it was being serious in this movie too. Back to Richard's character. Do you know when she like messages Johnny Rico, like our hero, the guy we're supposed to be following throughout this movie, and says, I'm really sorry. I just can't handle all that dick right now. Minutes later, her character is shown flirting with this giant festering sack of asshole.
You know what I want.
No. What do you want?
In early cuts of the film, Richard's character is clearly conflicted about her feelings and articulates that while she loves both men, she does so for different reasons.
She actually has.
Yeah, she ends up getting with him and kissing him and flirting with him. And the worst bit is like, almost immediately after she breaks up with Rico saying, I need to focus on my career, the first thing she does as part of her career is start flirting with a superior officer.
So they introduce a female character who turns away the possibility of the love interest in order for her career to flourish, and then immediately starts another one, and then ends up conflicted between two men.
Yep.
So how do you feel about him now?
I don't know.
And then they try to put like this love triangle part in where she's like, oh, well, I love Rico, he's not my childhood sweetheart, but this guy's also like, he's got my interest, he's also a pilot. And do you know what? Test audiences fucking hated that.
Don't do this.
Come on, what's he gonna do?
According to Paul Verhoeven, literally every single person who watched an early cut of Starship Troopers that included scenes in which Richard's character explained that her feelings for each man were conflicted and that she loved them both for different reasons, hated it. And everyone who watched the film, regardless of gender, explained on their comment card that they didn't feel her character could love two men at once. It's like, I don't know about you, but I've seen plenty of like documentaries about 3 AM where a woman very clearly does love two men at once, but I'm guessing it's a different time. One of my favourite jokes I've ever seen is just a tweet from this girl who says, I've got a guy coming out to fix my fridge later. I hope he doesn't try and have sex with me like in that documentary I saw last night.
So the audience really, really hated this character.
Yeah, so much so that scenes of her being conflicted about her feelings for Johnny Rico and that other asshole she liked were just cut wholesale from the movie. But they did leave in scenes where she flirts with that guy, and test audiences hated them so much that one person just wrote on their comment card, "Die, bitch." Because they just didn't like the idea of her using sex to get ahead in her career. And people were really upset as well that both she and Johnny Rico survive, whereas both of their love interests die.
So he has another love interest?
Yes, a girl called Dizzy in the context of the film. And it's shown that the two characters, like the other people they get with, are far better suited for them, like personality-wise. And they're both shown as being in those relationships. It's like, oh, that's great. And then both of their love interests die. There was actually a cut of the film where the two characters at the end got back together after both of their secondary love interests, which were better suited for them in every way, were horrifically murdered by giant alien bugs. And you know what? Test audiences didn't like that either. And it's really, I get annoyed about that, because I'm in that boat of, I think those two characters are the most interesting characters thing, and I wanted them to get together, and I wanted the two people who were the pilots, because it establishes in the film that the mobile infantry, which Rico and Dizzy are part of, like they do the dying, pilots do the flying. So I wanted the pilots to die, because they're just sat there, sitting pretty in their giant spaceship, sending people to their death. They should be the ones who die the horrific death, and they should be the heroes. Like, no. And the worst bit as well, like the main character, he nearly quits the army.
Because of this?
He tries to quit, yeah, because he only joined the army to be with her. So basically, he is, in essence, signs his life away to join the military, to be with her. And then he tries to quit, and then his house gets blown up by a giant meteor. And he gets so upset about it, he's like, I want to kill some bugs. So Mr. Krabs helps him out and lets him rejoin the army.
Carry on, Private.
Do you know what my favourite thing about this movie is, though? That the entire plot to the movie is resolved by Mr. Krabs. The guy who plays Mr. Krabs, Clancy Brown, who you may know as the guy who beats up the rapist in Shawshank Redemption, is the guy who single-handedly captures like the evil brain bug at the end of the movie.
He got him! Yeah! Sam got the bug! Sam got the bug, man!
Although Paul Verhoeven didn't kill off Richard's character as Tess Saunders had wanted to and replace her instead with Dizzy as the love interest, he did cut a scene at the end of the movie where the main character and Richards were supposed to get back together and live happily ever after.
Good.
Yeah, there's no smart ass line. It's like, good, because I don't like the character either. But it's really disappointing. Obviously, you don't want to see the character who gets his heart stepped on and then his family gets blown up by a giant alien meteorite. And then he gets whipped in the army and he sees all his friends murdered and killed. And then it's like, oh, get back with this girl because like now she's not hopping on the dick of the guy who she said was better than you. It's like, no, fuck that. No one wants to see that happen to a guy. No. Boo. Boo.
I think, Karl, of all the t-shirts you've worn so far in these videos, that is still my favourite.
It's a fucking good one, isn't it?
It's a good t-shirt.
I fucking love this t-shirt.
Strong.
So I'm going to tell the audience, right, I'm not telling the story of where I got this from again. So, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, all that other bullshit. But if you want to know where the fuck I got this from, is it the Walmart video we did?
Yeah.
There's a tangent at the end of that where I tell the story. Oh, I can't tell it again. It actually wounds me to tell that story. It's so... People don't believe that happened to me.
Yeah.
And I tell that story at house parties, and the guy who went to China with me, he's from China by the way, he sits and goes, it's all fucking true. You didn't actually go and wear that t-shirt in a Chinese nightclub, did you? He's like, he fucking did. And he was dancing, and I didn't want to be near him. So yeah, I'm not telling that fucking story again.
So if you're not telling the story about the t-shirt again, you got another one, like another China story?
From China. I've actually got a fucking great story, right? I walked on the Great Wall of China. Because when you go to China, what else are you going to do? What else are you going to see except for the Great Wall of China? And we walked all the way along the wall. We got to this part called the Forbidden section of the wall. And it's basically a little fence that says, if you walk past here, we don't patrol it. So if you fall and die, you're on your own. And we looked at that and went, okay, cool. And we walked for like a good solid hour till we could get to one of the little fortresses that you can get to. And you've got to climb up to this fortress. And we're basically, now we're on top of what is the equivalent of a mountain. We can see for hundreds of miles around. You can see Beijing, like, I don't know, like 20, 40 miles in the distance, and then nothing but hills towards Mongolia for the next however many hundreds of miles. And there's no one around. We've not seen anyone for the hour we've been hiking. So do you know what I decided to do in my infinite wisdom? What? Just scream the word penis as loud as I could from the top of a mountain, from the top of a Great Wall, in China, and hear it echo throughout the valley below me. And this is not a lie, because I've got video footage of it. Do you know what happened after I screamed penis as loud as I could?
What?
Someone said hello. There's a video, you can put this after I've said it, right? I'm at the top of the Great Wall of China, I go, penis! And you hear it echo throughout the valley. Penis! And then after that, you just hear someone go, hello, because I thought I was saying hello. I just fucking lose it in crease, and I'm down. But if you want to see why I got his t-shirt, there's another story in another video, but that's another one. My idea was that there'd be people hiking in the forest below, and they just hear, penis, 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 penis.
Did you ever find out which direction it was coming from, or did you just echo back to you?
It was just someone shouting hello.
Somewhere within the 20 miles around you.
We never figured out where they were. We just know that someone, somewhere in that valley, heard the word penis echo around them, ricochet off every mountainside, and just go, hello?